Hey ladies, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about the importance of thinking more highly of yourself, because if you want to be a goal achiever, then it is crucial for you to begin thinking more highly of yourself, because as a woman thinketh is what she achieveth. Yes, I just made that up. However, it is so true. Out of all of my years of achieving multiple of my dream goals, I always had to think more highly of myself to help me get to the next level. And so, why this video came to topic today is because I think about women that I speak with, and oftentimes their mindset is, I can't do this. Like, I don't have a high school diploma, I don't have a college degree, or I don't have this, or I'm not that capable, or I'm not as smart. And it drives me crazy because I see so much in others than they see in themselves, which is why I'm a coach. However, I just want you guys to be able to see more in yourself, because you are more than you think you are, and you can achieve so much more than you think you can. You can be so much more than you think you are, and you can have so much of what you think you can have if only you begin to think more highly of yourself. If you cannot think highly of yourself, you won't be able to achieve high whatsoever. If you can't create a high concept of yourself, the level of your success is equivalent to the level of how you think of yourself. So, by the end of this video, hopefully you are able to intentionally start thinking more highly of yourself on a daily basis. So, what I want you ladies to start doing right now is to stop thinking you can't do something. One of my biggest pet peeves is when people say, I can't do something. That drives me up the wall. Yes, you can. You can do anything you put your mind to. Anything you put your mind to. You can learn anything that you truly want to learn. You can achieve anything that you truly want to achieve if you just allow yourself to say that you can learn something. You can learn things. You can learn a new language. You can learn how to make $1 million. You can learn how to build a business. You can learn how to start a side hustle. You can learn. Stop thinking less of yourself. It doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter, how much money you came from. It doesn't matter the education you have. You can always do more, be more, and have more. And so I know that we were not all born thinking less than ourselves, right? These are the type of things that were made into us over time, right? There's something that was formed into us over time. And so I know from personal experience, maybe you've heard certain things like this. Oh, if you're going to be a single mom, if you're a single mom, then you're doomed to struggle. That's something I've heard, that it's going to be hard. It's hard for single moms. Or you may have heard, oh, if you don't have a college degree, we've probably all heard that. If you don't have a college degree, then you won't make a lot of money, then you won't get a successful career. Or if you don't have if you're a high school dropout, then you're doomed to be poor, or you're doomed to be broke forever. Or if you're a person of a particular race, then you are again doomed to struggle, or you're not as smart. And so things happen over time that created you to have a certain outlook on yourself. However, who made the rules? Who made the rules? Who said this was true? Who said that just because you're a single mom that you are doomed to struggle? Who said that just because you don't have a high school diploma that like you're going to be broke forever? Or because you don't have a college degree then you won't get a high paying job? Like, who made those rules? And honestly, there's proof out there to prove that these are not true. None of these are true unless you actually accept it to be true. You believe it to be true. There are challenges whether you have a college degree or you don't. There are challenges whether you're a high school dropout or if you're not. There are challenges if you're a single mom or you're not. There's always going to be challenges. However, what you want to agree with, what do you want to be the outlook for yourself, right? Nobody made these rules. And so these are the kind of things that I've heard. However, I'm not a high school dropout. I do have a college degree. However, I am a single mom. I do come from a family that don't have a lot of money. I was born in an environment that wasn't the best, right? So, how was I able to recondition my mindset to help me achieve certain things? How was I able to start thinking a higher level of myself? It comes with one thought. One thought. You need one simple thought. And one of those thoughts was simply, I can do this. That's a simple thought. And the number one way that I was able to transform that and actually reaffirm that thought was through goal achievement, was starting to give myself a living proof that yes, that thought is actually true. How this simple concept works is you take one simple thought and then you try it, you achieve the goal, and then that goal reaffirms that thought, right? And then you have another higher thought. Oh, if I can do that, then I can do this. And then you achieve the goal again. And you go, ooh, boom. So now that I achieved that goal, dang, I must be really smart. Oh, I'm smart enough to do this. Oh, actually, I don't need a college degree to do this. Oh, actually, I don't need a high school diploma to do this. Oh, actually, I don't need to come from a lot of money to do this. Oh, actually, it is okay for me to be a single mom and still be wildly successful. I can do these things, right? You keep proving to yourself over and over and over and over again. And that allowed me to recondition my mind to believe that I can do anything, that I am unstoppable. That made me feel unstoppable. It's the law of cause and effect. You have that simple thought, and that cause the effect of you achieving a goal. And that you achieving a goal caused the effect of you reaffirming that thought and also thinking more highly of yourself. There's so many things that you are capable of doing, but it has to just start with one thought, one goal achievement, and then keep going and then keep going and then keep going. When you give yourself living proof, it is going to keep reaffirming the thoughts that you want to think of yourself because you're proving that to be true. So think about this. This is sometimes why some affirmations don't work is because sometimes when you have an affirmation, you don't believe it because you haven't backed it up, right? You haven't taken action to back up that belief to prove that that is true. So if you are telling yourself that you are a successful person, but then you are not backing that up by achieving successful things. It is not saying it has to be this wildly successful things, but actually achieving a goal that you want to achieve, then you're not going to believe that internally, right? You're not going to believe that whatsoever. Let's say you have a affirmation of you are a positive person, but then you keep acting in such a negative way, then you're not going to reaffirm that thought, right? An affirmation can only truly be back when you take action towards proving that affirmation to be true. So, think more highly of yourself is a starting point. Think more highly, but then take action behind that to prove that to be true. If you want to start thinking of yourself to be a more valuable person, you have to take action that provides value. That's the only way you are going to be able to reaffirm that affirmation. That's the same thing that did for me through action, through goal achievement. So, one of my affirmations why I say this was I am valuable and I can provide great value. And so, in order to prove that to be true for myself, what I had to do was actually start showing up online. I created a podcast first and then I created content and then I created YouTube, right? Why did I do that? Because I wanted to prove to myself that I am valuable. I wanted to prove to myself that I can add great value. I can be someone who is impactful, but it has to be action backed. So that is the number one way that I recondition my mind to think more highly of myself. First, you start with a thought, and then second is to reaffirm that with action. And so, this is why I created the Goal Achiever program, is because again, it helped me rebuild my self image and self confidence. And I want to help you do the same. I know you are an ambitious woman. You want more for yourself. You dream of more for yourself. You think about all the things that you want to do, all the things that you want to have, but you're stuck at thinking, right? You're stuck at thinking for multiple reasons. It can be confusion, it can be, fear, embarrassment, it can be limiting beliefs that were placed on you, it can be external validation. You don't have that approval, but you want to move past that. You want to get out of that stage and you want to actually start achieving the desires of your heart, achieving your dream goal. And you are ready to use that to help you rebuild how you see yourself. You want to think of yourself as someone who is valuable, someone who is creative, someone who is an achiever, someone who is unstoppable. You want to feel those feelings. You want to trust yourself. You want to believe in yourself. You want to know you can do anything you put your mind to. You want to overcome imposter syndrome. You want to use goal achievement to rebuild all of that you lost. You had it before, but you lost it. And it's okay. You can rebuild it, right? And so if this is something that speaks to you, if this is something that you would love to do, then I invite you to the Goal Achiever. Is a 3-month dream goal achievement program that is going to help you rebuild your self-confidence and your self-image through goal achievement. You will learn everything that you need to do to achieve a dream goal from the inside out. So if this sounds like something for you, just click the link in the description box. Also, I did push back the launch date. The launch date is going to be March 29th. This is the day that I'm going to release some of the modules. However, this is going to be a live group. This is going to be live coaching, and the live calls do start in April. So now that I went over that, I am going to go over the dangers of not thinking more highly of yourself. And so, number one, the first danger is the risk of living with regret. I'm sure you have heard that the richest place in the world is the graveyard, because that is a place where most people died with their dreams, right? They died with all the desires of their heart sitting within them, because they were always too scared to pursue or achieve a dream goal, because they didn't think more highly of themselves. And then also, I've heard, stories of people who are on their deathbed or in nursing homes, and they share stories of how I wish, I did this when I was younger. I wish that I had the courage to really live life on my terms. I wish that I didn't care what anyone thought of me. And so when I think of that, I'm sure these people are living with regret. I heard this before where someone said, everything is a risk. You either risk winning or you risk losing, but choose your risk. You're going to risk winning or you're going to risk failing. Which one would you rather do? And so in moments, right, things get challenging, and sometimes you want to give up, and sometimes you think like, oh my gosh, can I really do this? But then when I have a thought like that, I stop and think like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine not trying. I can't even imagine risking never experiencing something because I was too scared, because I didn't think that this was something possible for me. And so that idea of living with regret is a scary feeling. And I don't want that for you guys, right? I'm sure you don't want that for yourself either. So that is one of the main dangers of not thinking more highly of yourself, is living with regret of wishing that you did something, that you had more courage, that you thought more highly of yourself, that you were more capable, that you didn't let things like, money, or not have a certain degree, not having a certain experience stop you from what you truly want to become and what you truly want to do. Don't ever let that stop you. There's so much proof in the world that shows you and prove to you that limits are only in your mind. Doubt your limits, right? There's so many people who look like you, who came from experiences like you, who've excelled and achieved their dream goal. Not because they were different, not because they were better than, it was simply because of one simple thought. They started thinking more highly of themselves and they took action to prove that to be true. And it's as simple as that. So if you never take the risk, if you never think more highly of yourself, you may not ever realize your full potential. You may not ever know exactly what you are truly capable of, the person you can become, the things you can do, the things you can experience and have. So, the second danger of you not thinking more highly of yourself is life giving you exactly what you think of yourself. That is a danger because if you think of yourself that life is hard for you, if you think of yourself that you are a person that struggles, then life is just going to mimic what you think of yourself. Then life is going to naturally feel hard because you have that ingrained in you. And our reality is really a reflection of our perception. Our reality is our perception. So anything that is going on in your mind, what you think of yourself, is normally your reality is reaffirming what you think of yourself. And that is a danger. So the number three danger and not thinking more highly of yourself is the likelihood of you not either fulfilling your purpose or you discovering your purpose. The reason why I say either or is because it does say you do discover your purpose in life, but you can think yourself to be able to fulfill it, to be a person who can live out your purpose, then you risk not fulfilling your purpose, right? Now, why I say that you risk not discovering your purpose is because what I learned from my experience is that your purpose is tied to you becoming your best self. When you become your best self, when you start thinking more highly of yourself, start really, really, really working on yourself, normally your purpose, it just kind of opens up because it's a reflection of you, right? When you start to get to know yourself, when you start to love yourself, when you start to pour into yourself, you start knowing what you want. You start knowing what feels good. Now you feel like you have a voice. Now you feel like you can impact. Now you feel like you can serve. Now you feel like you have something to contribute to you. But if you cannot think more highly of yourself, then you discovering that purpose is probably not likely to happen. How I discovered my purpose, one of my purposes, right? Because we have multiple purposes, but that's a career, like career purpose, right? How I discovered that purpose was when I started to do my inner work, when I started to focus on prioritizing my confidence and my self image and putting myself out there. And then I realized that, ooh, I want to help people do this as well. That only happened because I started seeing myself as a person who has something valuable to say. I started seeing myself as a person who deserves more from life, who wants more from life. Even though wanting more from life is a different from wanting more and actually knowing that you deserve more and that you can have more. And once I started thinking those things, then one of my purposes actually came into fruition. And there's no question about it. There's no doubt about it, right? So if you don't start thinking more highly of yourself, you may never get to that point in your life where you can actually identify your purpose, right? Or possibly fulfill it because you can't get past a certain point of thinking that you can do this because everyone's purpose is different, but some purposes requires more, right? It requires you to be more. And so, can you be more? You can only be more when you think more highly of yourself. And so, start thinking more highly of yourself. The more highly you think of yourself, the better it gets to be. The better life gets to be. The more highly you think of yourself, the more greater you will achieve. So, as a woman, think of so she achieveth, right? It works in a cycle. You think, you achieve, it reaffirms. You think more, you achieve more, it reaffirms. And that is my number one way. This is why I love goal achievement because it rebuilt my self image, it rebuilt my self confidence, it rebuilt my faith in myself, my trust in myself. It rebuilt how I saw myself and how I saw my potential and what I can do. And ultimately, now I feel so unstoppable, right? I feel like I can do anything I put my mind to. And it's all because I started thinking more highly of myself and then reaffirming that goal. And so, in order for you to think more highly of yourself, you have to reject everything that doesn't feel good for you, everything that doesn't feel in alignment with the person that you want to be, everything that you heard about what you can and cannot do. Reject it, reject it, reject it, reject it, and say that is not true for me whatsoever. Not true for me. You create that new identity and you create new beliefs by backing it up with action. And so that is it for today's episode, today's video. Again, all information will be in the description box. If you love this video, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe box, and that is it, ladies. Until next time, I hope you begin thinking more highly of yourself because now you see how important it is. And so, until next time, ladies, bye.